We know that Juan Pablo Montoya is one of the world's great drivers. You don't win 7 Grand Prix and stand on the podium 13 times without being somewhat special. And for David Donohue to be able to hold him off, boy oh boy, that is pretty outstanding.
Well, to win this race is special, David, but you're right. To look at the record book and see that name Montoya and add to that Pruitt and Rojas finishing runner-up, that would make it even more special, but he's got to get the job done yet.
It ain't over till it's over and all those other cliches.
There is Mike Colucci, the man who is synonymous with Brumos Racing, grew up with Bob Snodgrass. And we talk about family ties between David Donohue and his late father. Well, Mike Colucci is in the same boat because he lost his father this past off-season. This winter, his 91-year-old father passed away, and he said, I was real proud of my dad. He said he fathered 10 kids, and I'm the youngest. And he said, I'd like to win this one for my dad.
Well, that would certainly be special, and of course it'd be so special. Bob Snodgrass passed away a couple of years ago. His legendary dealership just up the road in Jacksonville. How special would it be for the name of Donohue and Brumos to be back in Victory Circle here at Daytona?
David Donohue continuing to dig, and we all know that race car drivers do good things for good luck and carry good luck charms. Hurley Haywood carrying with him right now a toy snake that Bob Carlson's wife gave him. Bob Carlson had a thing with snakes. She gave it to Hurley and said, carry this for Bob and for good luck, and if you win, take it to Victory Circle. We talked about the passing of Bob Carlson. Well, he's still here.
That's right, and his wife Debbie, I know, is looking in from her home in the Atlanta, Georgia area. We're thinking about you too, Debbie.
6 minutes to go. That's it. Simple as that. Here comes Montoya now on Donohue with traffic up ahead. The Brumos pilot gets a clear run through. Now Montoya needs the same.
Intense stuff, but David is definitely catching a little bit of a break here in traffic. They're seeing him. These slower GT cars are now sensing the rhythm of the race. They know who to look out for. These cars have been tied together, so they know if they see one of the leaders, there's more coming.
It's like Groundhog Day. The amount of times they've caught that blue PR1 Pontiac at that section of the track. It's happened time and time again. But fortunately, Donohue, Montoya get a clear run through.
More traffic as they go into the bus stop. This is where he does not want to get held up, because coming out of here, Montoya is very, very quick.
More from Brumos. Brian, take it away.
Mike Colucci on the radio saying, David, don't worry about the alarms. Don't worry about the alarms. A little more than 5 minutes. I don't know it's temperature or oil, but guess what, guys? At this point in the race, it doesn't matter. Shut them off. Don't look at them. Drive.
Drive it into the ground. Absolutely.
They don't have a lot of fuel on board either.
Boy, they don't. I mean, these guys must be thinking of that race at Montreal, I would think. I mean, this is going to be right down to the last drop of gas.
David, let's not think about that race at Montreal.
But isn't that the way you want it to turn out, with the best guys out there, tires worn, low on fuel, nobody lifting? And David, looking at Juan Pablo Montoya, you and I have seen him so many times in Formula One cars, locking wheels with the likes of Michael Schumacher in Brazil and Belgium and places like that. He will not hesitate to stick his nose in there.
Well, when you think of the way he overtook Michael Schumacher in the Brazilian Grand Prix in his very first season, I mean, it makes your hair stand on end. So if he can do that to Michael Schumacher, David Donohue now under real pressure. This is where this car, the Lexus-powered car, is so quick off these corners.
But this is also one of the great things, boys, about the Rolex 24, and we touched on it before with Kyle Petty. When Juan Pablo Montoya was deep into his IndyCar and Formula One days, he wouldn't have known who Darren Law and David Donohue were. He comes to the Rolex 24 and he says, boy, I don't even know who these guys are, but look at how they can drive, and I'm going to fight with them for the win for the Rolex 24. Less than 4 minutes to go, 3 3/4 minutes.
Montoya has just done a sensational job in holding on to that lead for so long and still keeping the pressure on David. And you have to think, when you haven't been in winner's circle for so long, the pressure really has to be mounting on David Donohue's shoulders right now.
They've dropped Joao Barbosa. This is down to a 2-car, 2-driver fight. It's Donohue v. Montoya. Barbosa and Angelelli are out of it.
With just over 3 minutes to go, if Donohue's got a problem with his vehicle, if there's a mechanical problem, he'd just so dearly love to be able to lift off at this moment and just cut this down to 1 lap to go, but he's not going to be able to do that.
Now they're going to come by the stripe one more time and see that white flag, I believe. So just under 2 laps to go for David Donohue to hang on to this lead and get that first 24-hour win. He can't afford one mistake. He gets a little bit wide there of apex. not enough for Montoya to take advantage.
Remember what's on the line for Ganassi. I know for all of you who have been with us for the whole ride, you know the statistic, the detail. It's 4 consecutive victories on the line for Chip Ganassi Racing. 3 consecutive victories for one Pablo Montoya from just 3 starts. He has the perfect record at the Rolex 24. David Donahue and Brumos are standing in his way.
Montoya close. You have to think if there's any traffic that can play a factor through that infield on the last lap, you know that Montoya's going to dive it in there on the brakes.
Oh boy, you only ever. They've got traffic coming up now that I think the traffic's going to clear the bus stop chicane before they get there, but it's going to be close.
The white flag is in readiness, whether it will come out this time or next. We are standing above the flag stand, high above the grandstand here at Daytona International Speedway. Will it fly this time or the next?
For Donahue, he hopes he sees the white flag. For Montoya, he hopes he doesn't. He needs another bite on this one.
Colucci, the pressure is on. The entire Brumos gang. I think the white's going to fly this time. One more lap to go for David Donahue. 3.5 miles between he and his biggest victory in his racing career, and to bring Brumos back into the winner's circle. For Buddy Rice, he's an Indy 500 champion. Can he be a Rolex 24 at Daytona champion? Brian.
Colucci on the radio saying, go to reserve, David, go to reserve.
Oh, no.
No!
Not again. This cannot be Montreal all over again.
Well, the one thing they don't want it to do is to cough. Remember this, they may be switching over early. If they have to switch when he runs out, that may be enough for Montoya to pounce. Maybe they're going to the reserve early so he doesn't have to go through that.
He's going to get traffic down at turn 6. David Donahue's going to get traffic at his worst position as he goes through turn 6.
Mike Colucci saying, come on, just talking quietly to himself. This is too much pressure to bear. The final lap of the Rolex 24.
Maybe, finally, everyone's looking down on this Brumos machine and giving David Donahue the brakes. He seems to have got the brakes in traffic. Can he get the rhythm one final time through this bus stop chicane?
He'll clear this GT car to the bus stop on the very last lap of the 47th running of the Rolex 24. There's another GT car in the way. Will he give him room? He does. Clears space. Montoya will have to tackle that GT car. And Donahue exits the bus stop for the final time. There is so much emotion, there is so much history, not only for the Donahue family name, for the Brumos camp. He went from pole and he is on his way to victory circle, to victory lane. Has David Donahue got this one in the bag? It's the final stretch to the tri-oval. Yes, he will emulate his father. 40 years, the anniversary, and the Donahue family name is back in victory lane. And so too is Brumos. That is an outstanding victory, and one that will be celebrated for many years to come.
What a race.
Boy, if you believe in ghosts, you know Daytona International Speedway is absolutely haunted right now by all of the great driving legends and so many electrifying moments here at Daytona. Let's go to Chris Neville.
Well, he may not have been driving the car, but Hurley, you have a management position with this team right now. The last Brumos win was 1978. What a great feeling for you guys.
Actually, it was 91 with Yost. We were a sponsor on that car, but it's great. This is a team with 2 cars, and we are just thrilled. I mean, the 58 car, David did a fantastic job. The 58 car, or 59 car, did a great job. We were third, so we're very happy.
It was a lot of work. It was almost 2 years ago that we lost Bob Snodgrass. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, I'm sure that he is smiling upstairs. He worked for this. This was his love. He put this team together, and he would have just been thrilled. And also our other good friend, Bob Carlson. I got his snake on board right here, so I'm taking that to victory lane.
Early, congratulations. Great to see you guys back in victory lane.
Unbelievable. 735 laps completed. That is yet another record for David Donahue. He set the pole record several days ago. He has won from pole and completed the most laps in the Daytona prototype era. Brumos in victory lane with Darren Law, Antonio Garcia, and Buddy Rice. And we congratulate TRG, Kevin Buckler and his drivers RJ Valentine, Andy Lally, Jörg Bergmeister and Patrick Long. Porsche on top. It's a Porsche doubleheader in Daytona Prototype and in GT. We'll hear from all of our respective winners when we come back. What a race, what a day.